Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. This is our, should be about 20 minutes or so. If I'm really good, I get it in at that number, but it's usually about a half hour or so. But anyway, we'll try our best to try and keep it under 20, 30 minutes here today for you. Let's make sure YouTube's working. We'll try our best. It is. That's good to see. So just a quick update, FYI, for those regular viewers. I've been noticing quite a few people have posted requests to be added to the raffle. So we have started to build out the spreadsheet and get the raffle drawing, which we'll have this Sunday. For the upcoming school term, we'll do the raffle on Sunday the 10th, and of course this first week of May, or well, not first week, but 11th, the week of the 11th, a sort of like formal registration and get yourself up and running for school. So that's coming up, and of course level 2, level 3ers, if you are planning on moving on to the program, get your butt in gear. And if anything, Bitcoin price is nice and high, so everything has gone on sale for you here. The point that I wanted to make for this YouTube audience, we do have this raffle here on Sunday. So if you are interested, like I said, I mentioned it on Sunday the 3rd and yesterday, got lots and lots of responses. If you have put in your name, you don't need to do it again. We've already built out the list, and of course I think I'm going to make a special if I see duplicated names, then you're instantly disqualified from the raffle. So I wouldn't do that, but if I see you blatantly keep putting your name in over and over and over again, that's not good karma. Anyway, point of the matter here is if you're watching this for the first time and you're like, hey, raffle, what's this? Maybe just go back and watch Saturday, tomorrow, or yesterday's videos. The simple message is if you would like to be in our raffle here coming up on this Sunday for the Level 1 School program, put your name in the comments, hit the like button, subscribe, ring Colleen's bell, all that fun stuff. And we'll get you into the raffle. Specifically for you guys, like I always generally like to do, is keep the conversation relatively focused on just a few assets, sort of bigger picture, to sort of help put the market, if you will, into context. As we've been talking about, of course, at length recently, U.S. dollar index at a very interesting sort of apex point of its consolidation of late. And they've just sort of announced reopenings of the United States of America, a lot of states, and at the same time, too, the health authorities have dramatically ramped up the number of expected deaths that they're expecting. And I get the impression that, a couple months ago, they were really worried about the virus just hitting the entire population all at once and everybody all getting sick simultaneously. And their whole idea that they wanted to flatten the curve, sort of get rid of the crisis, 100,000, dead in 1 week kind of thing. And kind of just spread that out over time or sort of flatten the curve. The worst part about that, though, is they're not saying anywhere that they expect the number of sicknesses or the number of mortalities to go down. They just didn't want all of the sickness to hit the system all at once. So what I'm seeing now, the impression that I'm getting is they're saying, okay, we're going to reopen up the economies, but my hunch is we're going to get a huge new wave of sicknesses, and it's probably going to take a week or two for it to all start to play out. So it kind of makes sense that, selling may walk away, markets ramping up into the seasonal peak gives Wall Street, all those people, the opportunity to sell into uppy markets. And of course, if they wanted to get short off appropriate levels. And what I'm worried about here is, of course, U.S. dollar index as the ultimate sort of fear proxy. if we start getting anecdotal information that, yep, these sicknesses are coming back in earnest and the sizes are coming in, my hunch is U.S. dollar index going to start cranking its way higher here. So we did have a pretty powerful engulfing bar yesterday. Not quite a key reversal bar, but a pretty darn bullish bar unto itself. Really shouldn't surprise us to see follow through here today. Ultimately, good old Brian and his W's, I'd like to see some sort of WE price action. If we see US dollar index up through these highs, though, my hunch is she's getting ready for a push up top. So we'll see how it goes in the short term. Right now, US dollar index catching a bid, which to me says, the pros are kind of getting a bit skittish here. Risk on, risk off. Crude has actually worked its way up, and it was really cool to see. I think I've told you recently I don't really want to be a crude oil bull anymore. I'm not really interested in investing in the space, but that doesn't mean there aren't trades. I was really pleased to see some of our recent level 3 grads are trading crude, one of them in particular, and he said he had a really nice bullish bot setup come in off the crude, and he went and actually ended up booking profits here just today on a and I don't know if this is it or not, probably something off of here, but he actually was taking profits on the crude oil rally here today. So congratulations, Mr. Freezy. You know who you are, and I'm very proud of the hard work that you've put in your education, and it's starting to pay off, sir. So congratulations on anybody who was trading the crude to the long side. As I said, I'm not overly impressed. Right now, I'm kind of thinking that top of the range is probably good $30. Bottom into the range, minus $30? I don't know. Probably down here around $5-10. My hunch is you're going to look back, and I doubt crude prices are going to go through this floor anytime soon. But who knows? This is 2020. And just looking at this chart, now I don't know whether we can actually use this or not, but just looking at this chart, I guess Mr. Freezy, and he's probably trading a specific crude contract. This is just this sort of one exclamation mark chart I'm showing you, but I think it's probably something along those lines that he traded. I don't know whether it's a good idea to chase any market that looks like this. This would be the end of our move. Our little bot setup would look something like... and now I'm wasting time. This video is only supposed to be 20 minutes, Brian. Anyway, oh yeah, you can see nice little double bottom came in there off the 25 level. So I can completely understand the trade, but do you want to come in on the long side now here? Or, I don't know. That's a bit tough. But nonetheless, it is what it is. So in that kind of environment with an uppy crude market, I don't think it really should surprise us to see stocks working their way back up into what I think is kind of like a magnet. And I've often noticed that that's what happens with these AB equals CD levels. The crude, we had an incredible one to the downside, and the market oscillated around its AB equals CD level. So that's what this is in the stock market, AB equals CD. We went beyond it. Then we pulled back underneath it, and gee whiz, look where we are. We're sitting basically right at that AB equals CD objective. Lots of people talking about stock market looking a bit heavy now, and they're thinking about corrections down to the downside. I'm not going to really put a fork in this, and I mean, look at what the crude market's doing here. So, do you really want to step in front of that and short that? I wouldn't be surprised if crude taps on another $4 or $5 here against this $30 level. Could the stock market work its way higher here? Ironically enough, actually, I think the answer is yes. Why do I say that? And of course, like I've told you guys before, this pisses off the Warren Buffetts of the world to no end. But I actually believe that Bitcoin is a nice leading indicator here. And you see how the corn was consolidating, broke up violently, and basically jumped right back up into the February trading range. I don't see any reason why stocks can't do the same thing here. So there's consolidation. We can see it chunking its way higher here. I mean, I certainly don't have a sell signal here. And if Bitcoin is a leading indicator here, I think the stock market's going to get dragged higher. But we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. I'm certainly not thinking about shorting. And if anything, what I would like to see is a bit more structure come in on this. Maybe a nice little consolidation. M out here. And then I can think about stock market fails. Kind of the same message across a lot of the market right now. The market we run the day trading plans on the site. One setup that I've been trading on the site through the past quarter as sort of a demonstration is just a little day trader model here. And interestingly enough, you can see this is Europe. Europe gapped lower into its May 1st holiday there. And all we've done is just rallied back up, filled in the gap, and then you can see, look at all this divergence, look at the M's. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually start topping out and having to work our way back down. You can see on the Dow, we had I'm not exactly sure what the historical reference of this level is here for me. But clearly, you can see, there it is. So it was original failure top level there. Actually in a gap as well. So, you can see how we're flirting with that level right now. And we've got higher highs, but lower highs on our momentum oscillator. So, it wouldn't surprise me if as the old saying, put a fork in our nice little double top short there. It's a 5-minute chart. But, I do see a lot of this sort of anecdotal, we had a dead cat bounce off the lows, but, maybe we're getting a little bit overdone. Here's that crude oil rally here today, and you can see the huge divergence that's being put in momentum. And actually, it's right across the board, whether it be the stocks or the crude. These are kind of looking a little exhausted here. So where was I going with all that? When I look at the risk-off assets, I see kind of just everybody's on pause. The bonds are just sitting there. And actually, frankly speaking, I was actually expecting these bonds to crap out quite a bit more. But some econs came out today that were just an absolute train wreck. The service sector of the economy, which is really what's been driving this expansion as the baby boomers are in retirement now. And basically, the U.S. economy has turned into a service sector economy. And the ISM services report came out today, and it was just an absolute falling off a cliff. So I actually I guess what happened here is you have rising crude prices, which are inflationary, but you have econs, things like ISMs, which are staggeringly deflationary. So the end result is the bonds just sit there and go sideways. Kind of same thing with the gold market, though. Just sort of sitting here. Remember, we sort of talked recently about how this low here was sort of going to be the uncle point as to whether this gold market was done. You can see they dipped against it, rallied it right back up into reload zones, brought it right back down against that low. We gapped higher yesterday, and remember I said yesterday, I'm kind of frozen here. There's not really much for a guy like me to do, and gee whiz, here's just another doji day. So, kind of like the bonds, everybody's just sort of sitting here going, okay, they're reopening, let's see what happens. And of course, if we have a huge new influx of cases, I'm hearing that the meat packing industry in the U.S. Midwest is under fire right now. U.S. healthcare system in rural U.S. is just absolutely abysmal right now. All the writing's on the wall that I don't see any reason why we can't have another dip here into end of June, beginning of July. Which would probably mean these things are going to take off, right? Maybe complete those big honking inverted head and shoulders. Who knows? Moving our attention over to sort of specific stocks and then heading over to crypto. I do like the fact that the Russell 2000 sort of a measure of risk appetite in the market did actually go and put in a W here, suggesting that, capital is coming back into risk assets. But following that big W on my sort of vacation break there, we've kind of just sort of paused. And, probably very similar to the gold and the bonds. I think everybody right now is like, okay, is this bottom really for real? Or are we going to go through another crazy wave of crap here? So as it stands right now, kind of on pause. And, I was sort of sitting there through today going, what are we going to talk about? Are there any new ideas that I can bring to sort of the YouTube attention? Any poppers or anything in the stock market? Really not a hell of a lot's changed since yesterday. So I haven't given you any new ideas. It's interesting to watch this little Mars basically sitting now back above water. And it's such a great anecdote of a trader's life. I mean, you don't know what the hell's going to happen here. I've got the trade on. You all know where I'm long from. So we're just going to see what the hell happens. We had a couple down days. Now we're starting to move back up here. Speaking of consolidation, and again, hopefully you guys are seeing this theme repeated in Bitcoin now for basically the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really, you could argue the past better part of 7 trading days, we've actually just done nothing here. Another sort of doji-ish type day. Could we potentially crap out here? Absolutely. We've got big fundamental driver event happening in about a week or two. And historically, I've found that Bitcoin does like to top out ahead of the halving event. But that's, so what? That's what happened in the past. No guarantee that's going to happen this go round. And really the message for the site was just sort of like, until this actually does resolve itself, we're just sitting here, hurry up and do nothing. If we do crap out and start to fail here, my hunch is number of the beast, probably back against these candle body lows is probably key support. There might even be a little gap you can see right here. Not quite sure where those came in, so there's probably some holes on the charts down in here. But that seems like a logical stopping point right around good old Beelzebub's number. Thought it was interesting, just sort of wrap up this video here for you. Altcoins taste great. You know how the song goes. Woohoo. So, what do you got here? Got a bullish setup that's still working away. As I had sort of said yesterday, nothing really new to do. Had you taken this double bottom, we've had the move stop to trailing level hit, and you can see on yesterday's dump it made a slightly higher low than this previous low. So I wouldn't have a problem had somebody taken this bot that if we lose this tail low, you just walk away and say, look, you know what, I'll count my little profits and just wait for the next setup. But I am seeing more and more of this. Remember I showed you Ubic the other day. As long as this stuff is happening, I can't see crypto breaking down. And I don't know what the hell this damn thing's doing. Tube, do your own research, do your own due diligence. Brian and his crazy W's. I mean, look at where this damn thing has come from. Could I have made the same message through here and you'd still be on your long positions from these levels? Yeah, maybe. This is why we say, if you had taken the setups and we started breaking down, well, you better just walk away. And now you're basically being told, all right, well, time to get back in there. Or you could have like nanny nibbled and just said, look at Brian, I'm going to spoon feed if we can get our butt back up into this area. Totally fine. But it's just yet another anecdote of, gee whiz, here comes another W. And you can see I don't know. I think this is a Justin's son name. So I suppose it makes sense. He wants to make money. He wants to pump his names. But if we just do simple things like 50% rules, and this is just going back to December. So I'm not even doing a 50% 52-week range. Just over the past few months, you can see it's 126. So had you snuck in off of this double bottom, that level was 61. Gee whiz, there's your double. Maybe, I don't know whether it's a good idea to chase here. I'm sure some of you are going to be forewarned. This thing might just crap out. But, on the video today, I suggested to people maybe just throw in a bid down here in the sort of mid-60s and see if you can get some sort of pullback. And a rally to the 50% rule is a nice little double for you. So it just goes to show that, there's always a bull somewhere. Thought it was really funny. I was showing Decred. I think it was Decred. Maybe it wasn't. To this site today. I can't remember if it was Decred. No. Actually, this is an interesting one because Decred was that started the whole bull back in early 2017. And actually, Kevin here did a great presentation on the Daily Brief today for everybody. He and I were sitting in the lounge, actually, at exactly this point. We watched the whole damn thing happen. Of course, banging out doubles, yada, yada, yada. So, interesting, Decred's worked its way all the way right back down to that original level. But that's not the one that's going nuts here today. Where are we here? Oh, interesting. What's the one I wanted to show you guys? Yeah, Digi! Look at Digi! They always say there's always a bull somewhere. I mean, gee whiz, look at that rally. Again, if crypto is a bear, we probably shouldn't be seeing this kind of stuff happening. Keep your eye on this Geo. I mean, I don't know. I have a funny feeling this is the reason why Ubiq rallied. Something's going on with this coin, but I mean, you can see that OBV. That's ridiculous, eh? And does this thing have any room to run back? So, anyway. All right, I think I'll leave the free video at that. Sure hope you got some value out of it. If you have not registered for the raffle this coming Sunday, please leave your name if you feel like participating. And, of course, pop on the site, therationalinvestor.com/learn. If you actually want to learn a little bit about what the heck we do here at TRI and what this contest is all about, our Level 1 school program. All right, everybody, have yourselves a great day. All the best, and bye for now.